Welcome back. It's been too long, hasn't it? I think it's probably been about 2 weeks since I've done a long form video, and it's my fault. It's not your fault. I'm not blaming any of you. It's my fault. I've just, I'll be honest, there was a video I started doing, and halfway through I just thought, this is rubbish. This is rubbish. Who's going to listen to this? This is no good. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't cooking. So yeah, I thought rather than just putting a subpar product out there, let me just wait till I've actually got something to say, till I'm in the mood, till I'm cooking, till I'm firing. So yeah, that spells the end of this video as well. No, I jest. Let's talk. I've got the laptop in front of me as well. Things that I think we should talk about. I think the main thing that's happened in the last week, there's been a lot of WBC stuff. Obviously, they've got the convention going on. There's the whole, I think one of the big stories is the back and forth between Maurizio Sulaiman and Terence Crawford. That's very interesting. I think everyone's kind of laying down their marker as to where they stand on the argument. Obviously, the WBC, the sanctioning body argument is, of course, if you want to fight for the belt, then you have to pay your sanctioning fee. That's fine. I think actually Eddie Hearn explained it quite well. If you're going to go out to a dinner and you eat all the food there, you can't just go, no, actually I'm not paying for the bill at the end because the bill's a bit, I don't know, more than you think. So that's an interesting kind of back and forth. I think we're at a point now in the sport where there's clearly there's a pro sanctioning bodies, belts matter, and there's like a new anti-sanctioning bodies kind of era emerging as well, where belts don't matter, just focus on our stuff over here. I don't know. Well, let's see where it all ends up. But I think ultimately fighters do like to fight for belts. Even Terence Crawford, that fight against Canelo Alvarez meant something because it gave him the chance to become undisputed champion yet again. You become an undisputed champion by winning all of the sanctioning body's belts. That includes the WBC. You take the WBC out of that, then you're a unified champion. Still great, but you're not undisputed champion. I feel like people will always want to fight for the belts. They'll always want to be recognised as an undisputed champion, as a world champion, have a little bit of hardware. You know, that you see pictures. Look at Alexander Usyk, look at Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, these iconic pictures of them in the ring after having won all the belts, stood like this. Yeah, just put my arms up there, holding all of the belts. You know, that's a cool image. If those belts didn't exist, what does that image look like? Would there just be one alternative belt? I don't know. But yeah, I wasn't even going to talk about that. But the main thing from the WBC was all these fights that they have ordered, that they have suggested, that they have given pathways to. And I'll tell you what, there's a few very, very, very curious ones there. You look at Moses Itauma against Lawrence Okolie that they've ordered. Now, I don't know if that fight is going to happen. I feel like both fighters would say yes to the fight. I usually look for signs like across social media when a fight gets suggested as to who is pushing the fight, who is posting it on social media, who is sharing the story, who is commenting on it, who is inviting it. And from what I've seen so far, Okolie seems to be bang up for it. Okolie's posting it on his social media, etc. Moses, I'm sure, will be bang up for it as well. I saw Francis Warren post it on his Instagram story. So it seems to be a fight that both parties are up for, but both have fights in the way right now. We're also in a position, once again, where Moses Itauma has a significant fight scheduled, and there is noise out there about other potential opponents in the future. So when he was scheduled to fight Dillian Whyte, don't forget that His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh put out a tweet after Usyk beat Dubois saying Moses is the fight. Now Moses is getting all ready for Dillian Whyte. Now Moses is getting ready for Jermaine Franklin, a significant kind of step in his career. One that, you know, people have been calling out for. He's going to take him rounds. Let's see what Moses is like later on into a fight. This is a step up in that sense. But now there's this noise in the air about potential Lawrence Okolie in the future. Obviously, he's 20 years old and he's the hottest prospect in world boxing right now, and he's going to become a world champion. But it's fascinating to see that he's got these step-up fights scheduled, but there's noise about other fights, that such is the excitement. So I'd imagine that he's just going to focus on his next fight. Probably won't comment on it too much because it is a big fight. I think Lawrence Okolie's he's going to comment on what's going on here, because I don't think they've named an opponent for him for December 19th. I know they put an offer to Dillian Whyte, but it sounds like it's essentially going to be a kind of stay busy fight. So Okolie can afford to be talking about what's beyond and what's going to come after, because this is essentially one of those, let me go and beat someone up in Nigeria and beat my chest and say I am ready for everyone in the division. The other one, well there was loads, but Buatsi against Whittaker got ordered. Ooh! I'll put that up. I'll put the graphic that got made. I'll put that up, and I'll just put on Twitter. Oh, hello. Let me see, because this did some numbers. This is just me posting a graphic saying "Oh, hello." Very minimal sort of caption there. 886 likes, 56 retweets. You know, it's all right. You know, it's good for my account to be doing that, just with a picture of the graphics. So there is interest in that fight. Now this is what's going to happen. This is kind of the Ben Whittaker conundrum right now, and this has happened with plenty of fighters in the past as well, where his star power is very, very high, but his development isn't there yet. So they've got to bring him along. But what they've done is, like Matchroom, what they've done is they've asked for him to be WBC number 3. What that means is it will invite moments like this. It will invite, okay, if he's WBC number 3, that means he's ready to fight Joshua Buatsi next. Is he ready to fight Joshua Buatsi next? I don't know. It doesn't sound like it's in their immediate plans, but when you go so high up in the rankings, when you ask to be placed there, you leave yourself being open to kind of matches being put forward. Oh, so why are you number 3 if you can't fight this guy? If you can't fight this guy. Yeah, I wonder what they are going to do with Ben Whittaker. The star power is enormous. I guess it's just a case of how many of these light heavyweights in the UK right now, and I'm going to get up a bit of a list, like just the box rec list of light heavyweights. So say for example, let's look at this is the box rec top 10 UK light heavyweights right now. Callum Smith. Is Ben Whittaker ready for Callum Smith? He's not, is he? I think we just know that. Joshua Buatsi, is he ready for Joshua Buatsi? He's probably not, is he? He's probably not ready for him just yet. Willie Hutchinson, would you comfortably back Ben Whittaker right now to beat Willie Hutchinson? I don't think I would. Would you comfortably back him to beat Zach Parker? I don't think I'd back him to beat Zach Parker. Anthony Yard? Not yet. Ezra Taylor? That feels like a closer kind of fight, because Ezra Taylor doesn't have this deep, vast amateur career like guys like Willie Hutchinson does have. He's quite young in his career as well, so that feels like quite an even kind of match right now. Craig Richards, okay, that feels like an even kind of match. Ben Whittaker himself is number 8. Lyndon Arthur, would you back him against Lyndon Arthur? Would you back Ben Whittaker to beat the European champion? I don't know. Just don't know that I would. Louis Edmondson, awkward, horrible night's work. Would you back him to beat him? He'd probably be a favourite, but it's a hard fight. It's just, he's come along in this time where there's actually really, really good fighters in the light heavyweight division at every level, at British level, at European level, and most certainly at world level. They've got to navigate these kind of murky waters and bring him along and make him cook, because he could go to the very top. But there's so many great fighters in the way who could stop him getting there. So, interesting times for Ben Whittaker. With Joshua Buatsi, I'm sure he'd say yes to a fight with Ben Whittaker. He just wants to be a world champion. So any fight proposed to him to get him a step closer to becoming world champion, I'm sure he's down for that. He probably wants to fight David Benavidez. So I don't know what they're going to do with him next, because Benavidez is going up to fight Zordo, isn't he? And Buatsi wants smoke. So Hamza Shiraz gets his world title shot at super middleweight. Terence Crawford, as part of this whole back and forth with the WBC and not paying his sanctioning fees, means that he no longer has that belt. And they have ordered that Hamza Shiraz takes on Christian and Billy for the world title. And Billy is a rough and tough guy who's going to be trying to get in on the inside and beat up Hamza Shiraz like so many of these guys do. And Hamza Shiraz at 6'4", fully kind of hydrated super middleweight is probably going to knock him out and become world champion next year. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, and Billy's a good fighter, but I think Hamza, he could be a great fighter. I'm so impressed by what he did against Edgar Berlanga. I'm so impressed by how he looked at super middleweight. So I think it's soon come. I went to see Shaquille Thompson yesterday. So Shaquille Thompson is the Dr. Steel from Sheffield, unbeaten middleweight. He's fighting Brad Pauls January 24th on the Queensbury DAZN Magnificent 7 show. Really, really good fight. And if you don't know much about Shaquille Thompson, go and check him out. I've done like a 15-minute interview with him. That'll go out on the Queensbury YouTube. But he's a cool character. It's odd actually with Shaquille Thompson. I remember distinctly, it was a number of years ago, it must have been 2019, where he did come with Queensbury. I don't know if he was like a Queensbury fighter, but he boxed on a few Queensbury shows, and like Queensbury sent a camera to his gym, got a bit of promo, and it all came about because Billy Joe Saunders had recommended him. But he had a few fights with Queensbury, and then he just wasn't having fights with Queensbury. I don't really know what happened there. And then he obviously went on Small Halls and went on to GBM. GBM have built him up, and he's very much there now, sort of ready and raring to go. Yeah, he's a fascinating character. I like him a lot. He's got his whole life is boxing. He dedicates every moment to the sport. He's got 2 daughters, and this is the first time that he's not got a full-time job. So he's bet on himself. He's gambled on himself. Literally, he has given up the day job because he is so committed, and he is betting on himself to win this fight and all the riches, the fame and the fortune that will come with this. And he says now, this is the first time that we're going to see the real Shaquille Thompson. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. And like Brad Pauls is as tough as they come. He's a former British champion, and he's hungry to get back there. I mean, he's had a taste of that bigger stage, and then he had to go to the small halls when he lost to Denzel Bentley. He doesn't want to go on the small halls again. He wants to stay here. He wants to stay on these bigger shows and get his British title back, essentially. But yeah, toughest fight of Shaquille Thompson's career, and a tough fight for Brad Pauls, who only takes tough fights on Queensbury shows. But yeah, I thought I'd just say it was good to see Shaquille Thompson. So, in preparation for Jake Paul's fight with Anthony Joshua, he has been sparring Lawrence Okolie, Frank Sanchez, and Jared Anderson. He's doing it right, isn't he? I mean, I just watched a video on Instagram, his like day in the life thing, and I mean, he's got access to everything. He's using all these chambers and that. He's doing ice baths, like everything that he could possibly do outside the ring to prepare for this fight. He's doing it. Who would you like to spar to help you prepare for Anthony Joshua? These 3 lumps will do. Frank Sanchez, one of the best heavyweights in the world. Lawrence Okolie, former 2-weight world champion, one of the best heavyweights in the world. Jared Anderson, one of the best rising heavyweights in the world. You've got a bit of everything there, and he's just got access to it. There's no way that he can beat Anthony Joshua, though, is there? There's just no way, is there? There's no way that he could knock out Anthony Joshua. Is there? Is there? No. There might be. Look, the closer it's getting, I'm just like, there's no way. AJ's got down to his, 245 pounds. He's a machine. He's a monster. And what should happen is that he just knocks out Jake Paul immediately. But I do feel that people are confusing what Jake Paul is. Like when they're talking about the fight, they're saying it's, a former Olympic gold medalist, former 2-time unified champion against some fella who was on Disney Channel. He was on Disney Channel. He was, but he's not anymore. Fabio Wardley used to work in recruitment. He doesn't anymore. He dedicated his life to the sport. By the way, not with anywhere near the sort of resource that Jake Paul has. It's okay to be something else beforehand and now be something else. Jake Paul has had plenty of professional fights now and has access to the best training facilities in the world, dedicates every moment of his life to this. It's not like he's then doing a 9-to-5. This is everything. You can learn how to do this sport especially in the heavier weights. Fabio Wardley is yet more proof of that. You can go and do it. He's a world champion right now. What was he doing 10 years ago? Knocking about, taking calls, making calls, sending emails. Jake Paul, yes, he was on the Disney Channel. Yes, he has made his fame and fortune via YouTube, but he's now a boxer. And a boxer weighing over 200 pounds, who clearly can punch a little bit, who is training really hard, who has got the best sparring in the world, has a chance, surely, of winning a boxing match against another boxer. Surely. Have I sort of talked myself into it now? What are the odds on Jake Paul, by the way? So the odds on Jake Paul to knock out Anthony Joshua, he's not going to beat him on points, is he? I mean, he's not going to get in there and sort of soundly outbox him, box and move. This is about him landing a Hail Mary and completely rocking the world. 11 to 1. So you stick a quid on, you win £11. That's the odds on him knocking out Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua to win by knockout is only 1 to 4. So you could stick a tenner on that and still win £2.50. These are longer odds than what I thought would be on Anthony Joshua to win by knockout. 1 to 4. What is going on? Did you see the Ngannou fight? I'm talking in riddles here. I'm going round and round in circles. All I can see in my head is Anthony Joshua knocking out Francis Ngannou, who was a bigger man, who had a thicker neck, who was considered durable, but not a boxer. Jake Paul is a smaller man, presumably less durable, because we have seen him sort of wobbled by Tyron Woodley. I'm sure we saw that. And but he will know how to look after himself a little bit more in there, I guess. I don't know, mate. I don't know. This whole fight is just it's like messing with my head. I don't understand what's going to happen in there. I can't wait to find out. I'll be tuned in. I think that's me. I think I'm done. And yeah, have a nice weekend, whatever you're doing. Go to some Christmas markets. Go and enjoy them. Get a bit of festive cheer. Yeah, be Christmas in 20 days. I'm sorry for giving you that sort of countdown there, but it is close. It is getting close. So get all your presents and stuff and get sorted to try and have a good one.